Well, we're back. Young Harris, Georgia. That is where my son and his fiance were married over the weekend.
Where?
Did I say it right? Young Harris, Georgia. She looked at me and I don't know.
Never been there.
You're the one who there went, Rob. It was so beautiful and gorgeous, all outside, and the backdrop was the mountains.
Oh, so
because we were
nice.
like in a valley, and it was just amazing.
And I
really
love
amazing.
that the rain held off and everything just went off without a hitch.
It's supposed to rain that day.
Yeah.
We're thinking, okay, we might have to run inside, but no. It was okay. It was great.
Fantastic. There was a pergola over the top with some
That was right behind them. Yeah, that was right
gorgeous.
behind them. The way that the in-laws, Chris and Ashley, set it all up was just amazing.
Is your heart
so good.
still just swelled like of pride?
I think it's still surreal.
Yeah.
You know?
My baby boy.
Yeah, and I was in the wedding. I was a groomsman. Eli, his younger brother, was a groomsman. And Amanda, sister, was a bridesmaid.
And everybody looked gorgeous. Really. Everybody looked gorgeous and happy. And because I was stalking your social over the weekend a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't put much up. Of the family were all over it.
Yeah.
Grandkids were in town, so Wes's older brother came to it. It was good. It was really good. I'll tell you more about that coming up. It is 6:02, and right now, Scott, my friend, has your news. What's up, Scott?
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Chris and Ashley, this one married couple, was praying so hard about God's plan for starting a family. And they learned God's plan was adoption for them. So he led them to an adoption agency, and soon they were told, hey, learn your lullaby songs. Wasn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
So Grace's birth mom had handpicked Chris and Ashley. And they said, you know what? This is the couple that's going to raise my daughter as her mom and dad. So she was a young girl, and she planned that she was going to have the path of life for her daughter. It was very important. A few years later, Chris and Ashley, they continued God's plan on adoption for another girl, that's Cedar. And so they parented both girls with a lot of love. And they prayed at the very beginning that the men that they would marry be godly men. So the girls grew up in a blink of an eye in a house full of love that both Chris and Ashley provided. Grace went off to college, and that's where she met the man that her mom and dad prayed for so long.
Oh, this is so sweet.
Immediately, he Googled them. He's like, what is this guy? Who is he? And so he learned real quickly that he was a godly man and that he was raised by a godly family. So this young college man asked Chris for Grace's hand in marriage. Chris, he planned this for a long time, and so he had every question prepared and ready to go. And this young man checked off all the boxes. Even his family checked off the boxes, which was so good. The wedding was perfectly planned out. Ashley worked so hard on helping her daughter plan the entire day with the catering, the decorations, the photos. Everything was perfect. Grace and her fiance chose Young Harris, Georgia. Beautiful in the mountains of North Georgia. The weather was beautiful. It was a big day, all outside. The mountains were the background. The ceremony was performed even by Ashley's Uncle Todd. And Ashley was the flower girl in his wedding. He performed Chris and Ashley's wedding, and now he's the minister of her daughter's wedding.
Oh, my goodness.
I know, so beautiful. Grace and her husband founded their marriage at the ceremony on Matthew 19:4-6, where it says that at the beginning, the Creator made them male and female and said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh, so that they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, God has joined together. Let no man separate it. And there was a point during this ceremony that both sets of parents came up and went around the couple during the ceremony and prayed for them as a song was being played. It was so beautiful. And during the reception at the dinner, Chris, the dad, he had a speech and honored Grace's birth mom in the speech. He told the story of being handpicked by her to be Grace's parents. And he called her by name and then pointed at the table that he and his wife are sitting at because Grace's birth mother was sitting right there. Amazing. Such a beautiful moment. I don't think that there is a dry eye in the place. And I have to tell you, I love this family because now they are my son Spencer's in-laws. Isn't that something? And that little girl, his mom and dad, we prayed for Grace to be the daughter-in-law. So congratulations, Spencer and Grace. May Jesus always be the center of your lives and your future family.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Okay, I have a question. Liz may be able to answer this. Velveeta.
Yeah.
Known for cheese, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's cheese. When you think Velveeta, it's cheese.
Like nachos. You put Velveeta on top of it, or a dip, a Rotel and Velveeta.
Always a cheese, right?
Yeah.
So why is Velveeta doing this chocolate cheese truffle thing?
I have no idea. Like, I'm trying to think. It can't taste good. It cannot, in my mind, taste good.
Mixing cheese and chocolate.
Yeah, so I think the consistency could be somewhat
Gross?
Yes, but somewhat similar. So
Gag reflux?
I know. They're both going to be smooth. Like, I do know that. The Velveeta cheese, very smooth, as long as you stir out all the lumps and all that good stuff. And chocolate, the same way.
Yeah.
But
it's like $25 a box.
A box.
For
And
this stuff.
I think the box only has like 7 or 8. They call them truffles. So for
of course, for
Velveeta.
Velveeta, of course, truffles.
Truffles.
But it looks like, I want to call it macaroni. It
Yeah.
looks like shells.
It looks like the Velveeta shells and cheese. So when you open the box, then you have like little compartments, like when you open the Russell Stover chocolate candies, right? Or the Whitmans. You open it up and it's got a little place for each little piece of chocolate.
Yeah.
That's what this is. So you have one shell, like 5 of them.
And it looks like it's the cheesy shells.
It looks like the shell
Until you
covered
bite
in the
into
cheese.
it and you taste the chocolate and go,
Yeah, because it's a cheese chocolate, and I think it's more of a creamy center and then more of a hard shell on the outside, like
I kind of want to
truffles.
experiment. I want to go home and get like a Hershey's chocolate bar and then dip it in Velveeta cheese.
I'm going to say it can't be that dissimilar. So
you wouldn't think, right?
go
Because
for
it's
it.
cheese on top of the chocolate.
I mean, it's just that they're not melded together like these are, but I think your way might be the better way.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
It's crazy to hear that Velveeta cheese now is coming out with a chocolate truffle that's inside the Velveeta cheese. Okay, it's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
Okay, it seems to be kind of a thing. Cindy texted and said her daughter has a recipe for peanut butter fudge that has Velveeta as one of the main ingredients.
Really? Never heard of such a thing.
Now, she said she doesn't care for it. She uses one that uses marshmallow cream. So her husband has a recipe that's peanut butter fudge that uses sugar, milk, and peanut butter. So not the Velveeta.
Not the cheese.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then Jean said Velveeta fudge is the best creamiest fudge ever.
What?
And it's similar how they use avocados in smoothies and making the chocolate. So it's that whole like smooth thing, like the smoothness of the Velveeta cheese, I guess adds to the creaminess of the fudge.
Okay.
I don't know.
So Jen's here at 800-447-7234. And I understand, Jen, there's a unique way that Velveeta cheese has been a part of your life. How so?
So when I was a kid and I was fishing with my dad and my brother, we would have like little snacks or whatever on the little boat. My dad ran out of bait, and so my dad thought, well, what do we have on the boat that we could use as bait? And so he took out the Velveeta cheese and put it on a hook, and he actually caught a fish.
No way. It actually worked.
So then years later, I was telling my friend this when we went fishing, and we fished at this lake all day, and he's like, this really expensive bait and, and all that, and never caught a single thing. And then I had brought some Velveeta just as a joke, and I said, hey, watch this. And no joke, I put it on a hook, and I threw it out, and I got about an 8-pound catfish.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
He was like, give me that.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Usually when you think Franklin Graham is doing one of his festivals, you got to go to like a big town to do it, and go into a football stadium somewhere or some place that has an arena where thousands and thousands and thousands can go. Or he's doing some kind of festival overseas, bringing an artist along with him. Now he just finished a small town tour in America.
Yeah, it's called Tidewater Tour. And so he took it to places like Maryland. And I mean, little tiny towns, honestly, some of which I've never heard of before. He was in Virginia, and he just wrapped up last weekend in North Carolina.
35,000 people came to be a part of this tour, which is so good because his heart is just like his daddy to get the message of Jesus out to people. He talked about the importance of marriage between a man and a woman. He was talking about getting God in schools, the human heart. They said over almost 900 churches altogether got behind this festival to bring it to these small towns that he went to.
Yeah, and I love that he was not only bringing the message that God loves us, the God loves you tour kind of, but also about discipleship and how to talk about and be equipped to talk about Jesus and your faith in Jesus and that he loves you.
I was a part of one of the Billy Graham crusades and helped plan that in Tampa. That was 1999.
Oh, wow.
And the amazing thing to me was what happens after the crusade and the festival is done. Because the importance of people who are coming forward to say, I want Jesus in my life, and then what? The crusade or the festival is done, and now what do? They partner with all these churches, and there's discipleship programs after that and getting connected after that so that people can grow in their new faith in Christ.
And I think that's so important because, yes, you can say, your heart can say, I want this relationship with Jesus, but if you don't have somebody there along with you that says, okay, here's kind of this next steps to take. I was a 13-year-old kind of living that life. I didn't have that example, and so floundered for years. And if you have those churches that are in place, mentors that are in place to say, here, we're gonna help you grow in your faith and get closer to God, it's so important.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Eli, my youngest, just turned 15 years old today.
Well, happy birthday, Eli. That is awesome. Love hearing that. 800-447-7234.
His grandparents are in town.
Yeah.
We're celebrating, which is just so good. And we just got an open mic in.
Oh, good.
Through the My HISRadio app. What's up with this open mic?
Happy golden birthday to Eli, because if he's 15 on the 15th, that makes this his golden birthday. Enjoy. Happy birthday.
I've never heard of that. The golden birthday.
What in the world?
Is that just when you're 15?
No, it's not when you're 15.
Well, what is it then?
It's whenever you're turning... Okay, so for example, I'm born on the 27th of December, and I turned 27 this year. So that's a golden birthday.
Because you're 27 on the 27th.
Yes.
But why
I
does
get
it-
that.
Why does it get that name?
It's just fun, I guess.
It's just fun, I guess. So I wonder who came up with it. Like back in the whenever.
I don't know.
I've
Google it. I
never-
have no idea.
You know what, Joey? I'm going to call you Joey when you do that. Google it.
That's her husband. Okay. Joey, I'm in there with you, man.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Miami Grand Prix is coming up. That's Formula One racing. It's amazing to watch. I don't know if you've ever watched Formula One. My son, Wes, started getting me into it because he got into it through a Netflix series.
Really?
Yeah, a docu-series that's
Okay.
still going on. I think it came out in 2019, still going strong. So I started watching it because of Wes. And I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. It is an expensive sport.
It seems to be. The only clue I have about it, was it Ford versus Ferrari, that movie about Formula One racing? I think.
Way back in the 70s.
Right, I think. Well, that one was just a couple years ago, but that's
No, the movie based in the
on.
70s. Yeah.
Yes. So that's my only, right? So I know that it takes a little bit of money, Ford and Ferrari. So if you go to Miami Grand Prix and you want to have a little snacky snack.
Like a salad. How about a salad?
A salad.
Get a salad.
Just a regular old salad. Doesn't really have anything spectacular on it. It's got a little goat cheese, some veggies. You'll need to come up with about $250.
That's Formula One.
For a salad.
That's Formula One.
If you want, let's say you want a little more protein in your life. So you go for the lobster roll. Lobster roll going to cost you a little bit more, which you understand is a little more than a salad. $450.
Yeah. Formula One. It's it. Now, shall I say, the salad serves 4 people. So it's really $62.50 for a salad.
How much salad, if you've got to split this salad between 4 people, how much you actually getting for $62.50?
A handful.
Oh, exactly.
Well, we're talking a European sport, Formula One, right?
You even get a crouton with that?
Yeah.
You get one crouton.
Of course you get a crouton.
Okay.
It's salad.
And a
You're
little
supposed
sliver
to get
of
it.
cheese, yeah.
If, like, say Scott's well into he's like Formula One. He's going to go Miami and watch the Grand Prix. I mean.
Oh, you know it.
Mm-hmm. So, fruit refresher. You're going to have it for $2.95.
Not $2.
Is that all?
Yeah.
That sounds like a bargain.
Yeah, not $2.95, $295. You know, and you thought Starbucks was expensive.
Unreal.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
They're calling it esports. So it'll be an Olympic e-sport at the Olympics that are coming up. And it's Fortnite.
I don't know how I feel about it. I'm glad there is an opportunity for those who love to play video games, but under the Olympic umbrella, I don't know. I just have a hard time with that.
Olympic esports.
Do you train for years and years? And
I know when you think Olympics, you are thinking a well-trained athlete that's worked so hard on their craft.
Yeah.
Instead of people sitting in a gaming chair in front of a screen with a controller.
Right.
I understand that. There's still a lot of skill.
There's
that's
still a lot of
involved in
skill.
this.
I'm not taking that away.
There's
but
no way I can play Fortnite.
oh no, the thumb.
I know, right?
Thumbs you'd have to
And it's going to
have.
be different. If you know anything about Fortnite, you're like, well, wait a minute. This is battles. This is all this other stuff. What they're focusing on is sharpshooting.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay. I didn't even realize that was part of Fortnite.
Yeah.
I think I've played one time with my kids when they played it.
And it's if you know anything about Fortnite, then this will be news for you. It's a Fortnite created island for this.
Okay, I'm just going to put it out there. Isn't Fortnite kind of over? At least that's what I'm hearing from my sons. They play other games now, and so I feel as though Fortnite's kind of done.
Our resident, he understands everything about movies and games, is Jake.
Okay.
Fortnite done, Jake.
Apparently not.
But before this,
what about for you?
Oh, for sure. I haven't played it since college.
Since college,
Yeah,
3 years ago.
When they brought back lightsabers in the game, I'm like, all right, I'm done.
I'm out.
He's out, right?
Wow.
Just Dance and Zwift are already a part of the Olympic series.
Okay, so Just
esports.
Dance, let me tell you, I broke it down many times with Just Dance, so I can see where that is sort of an Olympic sport because, you know, you're working, you're hard, you're dancing, you're doing your thing.
This is Olympic esports.
Okay, I know, but that still involves athleticism, maybe, dancing.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So
I don't know.
As you can see, she's really all in.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
Of course I look up at a billboard. Of course I see these two there. No doubt in my mind that would have happened.
Well, as soon as I saw this was a possibility and I didn't have to pay a thing for it, boom, I was doing it. So on Saturday, 12 until 12:15 on one of the main roads that I take to get home, there was a digital billboard of my fur babies, Copper and Charlie. And so it said, Copper and Charlie, the Riles love you. And that's what it said on the billboard for 15 minutes. But it's not something that I had to pay for, which is awesome. And it is something that you can do for your fur babies as well. Because Lamar, the Billboard people, are celebrating National Pet Month. And so you have to sign up for it every day. There's billboards all across the country. And you choose which billboard you want. You choose your 15-minute increment. And then you upload a picture and a message.
All I can imagine was Liz and her husband, Joey, were out by the billboard with a blanket on the ground, eating a picnic. Waiting for it to come up and then celebrate the whole 15 minutes of their pups up on a billboard.
Let me tell you, we didn't get to see it live. I
What?
was so upset.
Why?
But we were doing a really good thing. Like we were going to visit Joey's mom on Saturday. We had done some strawberry picking and then we went there. So we missed our window, but I have a picture of it. And so I hate that I missed it. But it's still available. If you want to do it, you can do it all month.
Yeah, Scott tried.
I tried. It said, sorry, you're too late. Try again.
Well, you have to.
I'm trying again today. We'll
Okay,
see.
good. You have to go every day, and I think it's like 7 a.m. Pacific time.
See, Liz gets whatever she does. She gets into movies. She's extras, and
I am extra. You
Yeah.
are right there.
You're listening to Rob and Lizz in the morning.
His radio.
let me tell you, The Fun Patrol for His Radio is out in full force this weekend. Gotta Be NC, Wings Over Wayne, Souls for Souls, 5K, and the Faith and Family Night with the Drive, where there is a free pre-concert with Brandon Heath. Fun Patrol is going to be each of those locations on Saturday, signing people up to win the best summer ever in the Universal Studios trip.
Yeah, I love that it's that time of year where the festivals and all the things are happening, and His Radio's Fun Patrol is going to do, their very best. They're going to be at just about everything this summer. So that's just this weekend where we're going to be. So you can get registered for that trip to Universal, or, you can stay in your pajamas right now and just text the word summer to 800-447-7234.
Isn't that nice? Although I'm not thinking you're in your PJs right now. I'm thinking you're probably on your way to work.
You could be.
Getting the kids off to school. There's so much going on. The kids would love that trip with the family to Universal in Orlando. Text the word summer. Would love for you to win. We'll send you a link. Fill it out. The word is summer to 800-447 several.
Sarah Bryan.
These are several.
447-7234.